Politics now. Over Tipu Sultan. Joining us on debate number 2 tonight, M.R. Venkatesh, CA and policy analyst. He joins us from Chennai. Social activist Rahul Ishwar is live with us from Trivandrum. Spokesperson of the Congress and Minister of State for Food and Civil Supplies in Karnataka, Dinesh Gundu Rao, joins us live from Bangalore. And Dr. Tasleem Ahmad Rahmani, President of the Muslim Political Council of India, is with us from Delhi. Good evening, gentlemen. Mr. Dinesh Gundu Rao, my first question will come to you because we'd like to know really what is yours and your party's stand on whether or not Tipu Sultan was a freedom fighter or some sort of tyrant. You must have read, of course, both contrarian historical points of view. So why is it that your party has decided to take one stand over the other? And why is it that you've woken up to it now, as recently as 2014, when Siddaramaiah decided that Tipu Jayanti is going to be celebrated?
See, Tipu Sultan we are very proud of Tipu Sultan. He was one of Karnataka's great sons. He was a good ruler. He was not communal. And he was a freedom fighter who fought against the British, a brave warrior who laid down his life on the battlefield. And he introduced many reforms in Karnataka. He was a person who brought in sericulture into Karnataka. And in fact, even social reforms were started under Tipu Sultan. So we are very proud of Tipu Sultan. And in Karnataka, Tipu Sultan's
But does that extend to everyone within your party? Mr. Gundu Rao, does that extend to everyone within your party? Or are they having to toe this line? Because the question is that there are many, many people, at least in Coorg, that I know of, who are very unhappy with what's happening. Because he's also, as per some historical accounts, known to have been someone who led a massacre in Coorg.
See, there are historical figures. Why historical figures? Even in the present Prime Minister, we can say, led the massacre against Muslims in Gujarat. See, these are all controversies. Maybe there are some, these are all historical figures. Nobody is perfect. But Tipu Sultan in Karnataka, when the Marathas invaded the Sringeri Mutt, which was established by Shankaracharya, it was Tipu who helped the Mutt.
And sure, no one's perfect, but wouldn't you say that someone who has been documented as an intolerant tyrant who persecuted and massacred thousands of Hindus and Christians, burnt entire villages to the ground, ensured that entire villages were converted by force, and this is documented history, would be perhaps, a bit of a departure from your definition of less than perfect, Mr. Gundu Rao?
No, I would not agree with that, because as far as we know, there are two versions. One is he has done a lot of things for the temples. Even the Kanchi temple in Tamil Nadu, he donated 10,000 gold coins. The Srirangapatna, which was his capital, was a temple town. He had a good relationship with many of the. He had good relationship with all people. He ruled for 16 years. It's not that Karnataka became a Muslim state.
So it's a question of two versions of history. Rahul Ishwar, M.R. Venkatesh. So whose history is right? Who decides? Rahul Ishwar.
Yeah. So there are two. But
Rahul Ishwar.
Now see, there are.
Let us not fight.
No, Rahul Ishwar first, then M.R. Venkatesh.
Let us not fight over history. History is something to study and. History is something to study and learn from, and history is not something to fight over. A serious student of history don't have the privilege to see things in black and white, but in shades of grey. Tipu Sultan has many shades. For example, Tipu Sultan in 1763 went to Kollur Mugambika temple, and there is even a ritual respecting Tipu Sultan called Salam Mangalarati. As the earlier speaker rightly pointed out, there he had an excellent relation with Sringeri Mutt. But on the other hand, the coastal areas of Karnataka, churches were destroyed by Tipu Sultan. Thousands of people were forcibly converted. Many temples were looted. So we should see things in grey, and there are some positive and there are many negative aspects. If somebody
why don't we celebrate the positives then?
So be it. But when the state government is celebrating this thing from a state exchequer, when the state treasury is paying it, and right now many people feel it is vote bank politics. Many people feel it is appeasement. And
so we'll talk about the politics. So we'll talk about the politics in the second part of our debate, but I want to bring in M.R. Venkatesh now on the pure question of history. The point is, here was also a man who patronized many temples. He was a benefactor of quite a few. Then why should he not be celebrated, M.R. Venkatesh?
Now see, everybody's character has a shade of black and a shade of white. But here, if you look at it, if you take General Dyer, For all that he would have done something good for the entire country. Somewhere down the line, he would have fed somebody, he would have done something for some community. But you don't celebrate General Dyer Jayanti and say that General Dyer did something good. And oh, there was a massacre, that was one angle to General Dyer, and there was one good angle to General Dyer.
I want to make a serious objection to this, because Tipu Sultan, do not compare him to General Dyer.
No, I didn't talk when you talk.
We'll allow you to make your counterpoint. Let him just make his point. We'll come back to you, Mr. Gundu Rao, for the counterpoint.
I didn't compare. I'm only on the logic, sir. If you don't understand what I'm trying to say, please keep quiet and listen to me. When I listen to you, please keep quiet and listen to me. This is what is making you an intolerant guy. Please listen to what I'm saying.
I will listen to you, but don't make all kinds of ridiculous comparisons. I will listen to you, but do not make ridiculous comparisons.
That is for the viewers. That is for the viewers. That is for the viewers to decide whether it is ridiculous or not. You don't have to decide for me. I will say what I have to say on this channel. I was invited. You do when you get a chance. Don't interfere when I speak. Listen to this.
So everybody, counter.
Please understand.
Okay, gentlemen, let's not waste precious seconds on this. Let M.R. Venkatesh make his point, and I'll come back to you for your rebuttal. Yes, M.R. Venkatesh, please conclude your point.
Yes, right from Aurobindo, right from many of our patriots, we critically analyze their characters and we celebrate certain of them, and certain people we say, no, these are not worthy enough to be celebrated. Tipu is one such character which cannot be said he is worthy of to be celebrated. And
okay, so the point is clear. All right, okay, we've got your point, M.R. Venkatesh. Let's get Mr. Gundu Rao's response to that. So, Mr. Gundu Rao, the point that is emerging from what both Rahul Ishwar and M.R. Venkatesh are saying is that they are not contesting the fact that he may have been very bravely fighting the British. They are not contesting the fact that he may have been very charitable to certain Hindu temples. They are not contesting that. What they are saying is, along with these positive attributes, there are extremely grave negative attributes also, which have been put down in the annals of history, and therefore the man does not deserve to be celebrated with a Tipu Jayanti. Your response to that and to the question of this being essentially for appeasement. Mr. Venkatesh, now you will have to allow the other panelists to speak also.
Look into Malabar Diaries. What is that they have said about...
We've taken your point. We've taken your point. Dinesh Gundu Rao, please respond.
Hindus, he has done away with temples, and you say that you have to celebrate.
We've got your point, sir. You've made your point. Let the counterpoint come in. Yes, Mr. Gundu Rao. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, see.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Gundu Rao.
I think this is not 1% debate.
Tipu's birthday was celebrated always in Karnataka.
Mr. Remani, we're coming to you. Please allow him to speak. Yes.
In all 30 districts of Karnataka, in all 30 districts of Karnataka, we have celebrated his birthday today. Yes, in Madikeri there was a problem. Why was the problem? Because the BJP, the Hindutva elements, the RSS affiliates called for a bandh, and by calling for a bandh, they try to create a situation of trying to create communal enmity over there. And after calling a bandh, they all congregate in a circle, and obviously there was a clash between two groups. The government has come in the way and stopped the clash from taking place. Now, unfortunately, a VHP organizing secretary has died not because of police action, but due to an accident is what prima facie it seems to be.
No, but Mr. Gundu Rao, what Rahul Ishwar said was, why did the government have to celebrate this figure at all?
Who's making
why the government? If a community, if a section wants to celebrate him, let them. Why the government?
Okay, 1 point. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points. He was a fighter. He fought against the British. He was among the few kings in India who took on the British without fear. He laid his life on the battlefield. He defeated the British twice.
Then why not till now?
The Marathas and the British combined against Tipu Sultan, including the Nizam of Hyderabad.
So why not till now?
He was one of the brave warriors of India who took on the British. How many Hindu kings took on the British?
Yeah, but why has he not been recognized until now? And that was in fact the very first question that I put to you, Mr. Gundu Rao, when we started this debate. The very first question to you was, why has this great warrior, freedom fighter not been recognized until now?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because one is, I think, if you see in the last few years, we celebrate Kanakadasa Jayanti, which was announced last year, who was a famous poet. Basveshwara Jayanti, we are celebrating now. Valmiki Jayanti, we are celebrating now, because they all represent different sections of society, and also they're great people. And today, Tipu also we feel is a personality from Karnataka.
Yeah, you just said it essentially. You said these people represent different sections of society. So when you use those words, are you then playing into the hands of those who are saying this is appeasement politics and nothing else? Because you're saying this is essentially tokenism. We are celebrating people who represent various sections of society. What do you mean by that? Dr. Rahmani, is this celebration of Tipu Jayanti an attempt to appease a certain section of society?
No, definitely not. We must salute and celebrate the Jayantis of all our beneficators. Tipu Sultan, in fact, was a beneficator, and I will not go to the black and grey areas of the history. I just want to quote that the ring the Tipu Sultan was using, it was engraved Ram over there, number one. Number two, the Prime Minister of Tipu Sultan was Punia Pandit. So we must take a moral from Tipu Sultan today that whosoever is beneficial for the people, for the society, who has the caliber and capacity to serve the people, must not be considered according to his or her religion, but he should be honored, respected and accommodated to serve the pupil. This was a very clear message we can get from Tipu Sultan.
Okay, Rahul
Ishwar. As far as the problem of conversion.
Why exclude him from celebrations only because of his religion?
Bihar has very clearly had...
Rahul Ishwar, let him respond. Rahul Ishwar.
No, not because of the religion. I said
but let us be honest. Let us be honest. The earlier person let the cat out. He has been honest and open in saying they are celebrating icons of different communities. He himself conceded without saying that Tipu Sultan celebration is for a particular community. We respect Tipu Sultan for many positives he had, but let us understand it's a very grey and controversial area. Let us not legitimize forcible conversion. Let us not legitimize...
Rahul Ishwar, we'll come back to you in a minute. Rahul Ishwar, we'll come back to you in a minute. Dr. Rahmani feels he's not been allowed to conclude his point. So let's give him a minute. Let's give him a minute. Yes, Dr. Rahmani, conclude your point, please.
Please,
go ahead.
Mr. Venkat, and stop interfering.
Take a lesson from them. Don't criminalize the country. Don't criminalize the people. We are the secular people. This is a country for all the communities, for all the religions. You cannot stand up for the test of the people.
But who is countering that?
We all are Indians.
No, who's countering that, Dr. Rahmani? That's not what's being asked here.
M.R. Venkatesh, I think, wants to come in. M.R. Venkatesh.
Sorry. Rahmani Saab, I agree with you. You are right. It's not communalized. But who is communalizing it? Who is playing vote bank politics here? We call Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar the Great because he was more of a secular king. He removed Jizya. But take the case of Tipu Sultan. It is slightly different. Tipu has many shades of grey, tending to be more black. Let us be impartial with history.
Okay, M.R. Venkatesh.
Many churches and temples. Thousands of forcible conversions.
Yes, we got your point. The point is that you're questioning the very merits of Tipu Sultan himself. M.R. Venkatesh, you wanted to say something on that.
There are hundreds and thousands of Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Jains,
one last word, one word
from the country. Please, let me complete. And for instance, if it's going to be Abdul Kalam Jayanti, nobody is going to object. Nobody is going to see any shades of grey, black or any color except white in Mr. Abdul Kalam. But in Tipu, there is a shade of grey, whether it is 50%, 80% or 10%, it is documented. And for heaven's sake, when you do this, you are actually provoking another set of communities.
Both the Christians and because some people
no. There are documents. There are documents, sir.
Otherwise, after 100 years, the same kind of people will criticize Abdul Kalam. I know you people.
No.
After 100 years,
you know me. Then I also know you, sir. Sir, I can also. I don't want to stoop to your level and debate. Please wait and listen. Please understand this. That Abdul Kalam, like people, there are hundreds in all communities. Please celebrate them. Don't celebrate divisive forces. Don't celebrate tyrants. Don't provoke this. Actually, this Karnataka government must be booked under 153 IPC for promoting disharmony amongst communities. And this
okay, let Dinesh Gundoo Rao come in on that.
All people.
Let Mr. Dinesh Gundoo Rao also come in on that, because this goes beyond tokenism. This is dangerous. You're playing with fire, Dinesh Gundoo Rao.
You are from Chennai.
This is provoking. This is not tokenism.
Dinesh Gundoo Rao.
See, this is not
thousands
this is provoking.
No, this is provocation, he says, not just tokenism.
Whatever
this is provocation.
Mr. Venkatesh,
this is gross provocation.
Whatever Mr. Venkatesh and the other person says, for Karnataka, okay, for Karnataka, he is an icon. If you have a different opinion, you can protest. The BJP government today, India government has announced Deen Dayal Upadhyaya as a birth anniversary. We have a problem with that, but if they want to call Deen Dayal Upadhyaya's birth anniversary to celebrate it, let them do it. What is his contribution? I do not know. So there are a lot of many issues.
But he didn't kill,
for
sir.
us, Tipu Sultan
he didn't kill anybody.
Was an icon
he didn't
of
kill anybody.
We respect
But Tipu killed.
Who did kill people?
Let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, can I reply to you? Can I reply to you?
Yes, please respond to that, because Dinesh Gundoo Rao, the point that is being made and what is emerging is, if there is any historical figure about whom there are two contrarian views, why celebrate them? The question is, why celebrate someone who has an entire list of contrarian historical records as well, which talk about him being a tyrant, being someone who indulged in massacres? That's the question. And is it not therefore provocation if you go ahead and celebrate him?
In fact, that is the question that we'll come back with on the other side of a very quick break. We have to head into a 3-minute long break. Minister Dinesh Gundoo Rao, we'll come back to you with that question on the other side. Mr. Dinesh Gundoo Rao, a number of allegations have been made against you, but the simple question I want to ask you, A, you woke up to the legacy of Tipu Sultan last year. B, you had prior warning that the VHP and other right-wing groups were going to protest against it. They had genuine concerns about this particular person being celebrated. Yet you went ahead with it. Doesn't that then either reek of political recklessness or opportunism? And we have a viewer, in fact, Shripal Gandhi, who in fact has messaged us from Coorg right now to tell us that for the last 12 hours, he and his family have been petrified because what happened in Coorg today. And you're responsible for it, sir.
No. See, by recognizing Tipu Sultan, how are we responsible for anything? It is the Hindutva right-wing elements which are creating this just because he's a Muslim. If he had belonged to any other community,
why are you saying that? They are saying it's because he was a tyrant. He was a dictator. And, he killed people.
Don't look at history with your secularist eyes.
See, he was
please look at history as what it is.
No, can I reply over here, please?
That X is of a particular denomination, Y is of a particular denomination.
He was a ruler.
Please look at history as what it is.
No, can I reply over here? The question is to me.
Let him respond, Mr. Venkatesh.
No,
yes,
listen,
Mr. Gundoo Rao.
Oh.
That's your opinion. That's not necessarily true. There are so many incidents of where he's helped temples.
Okay, we've made that point. We've made that point. No, Dinesh Gundoo Rao, the question to you was not that. That was not the question. You've made that point. All right, so you call him a secular icon. Fair enough. That's your opinion. The question that we asked you here is about whether or not you realized, your government realized that you could be hurting the sentiments of certain sections of society. And secondly, the issue of law and order, which is what you were asked just now. Did you not realize that this could lead to a situation where people would fear, there would be unrest? And even though you said yes, the death was not linked to the protests or the lathi charge, the fact is there is unrest.
You were warned of a bandh.
Yeah, so whose sentiments are we affecting? It's the Hindutva fringe element, lunatic elements. If you say we're going to eat beef, they get upset. If you say that you're going to dress in a certain way, they get upset. So we can't be taking every decision based on this lunatic fringe elements.
We're not even talking about sentiments here. What Tina said was, law and order, you would agree, is your responsibility. You're in government, Mr. Gundoo Rao, and here you had prior warning from certain groups, whether you agree with them or not, that there would be a situation.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. It is our responsibility. We maintain law and order. The person who's died is not because he died because of some lathi charge or some police firing. He died because he was running away and I think and unfortunately fell into a ditch. That's the reason why
Mr. Gundoo Rao, you just mentioned there was a lathi charge and we maintained law and order in the same sentence. So lathi charges don't happen when law and order is maintained. A clash itself shows that there was unrest.
Law and order, there was a lathi charge. Now, if you say if the police doesn't take action, then what is the police supposed to do? We didn't fire bullets. We had a mild lathi charge. There was tear gas shells, and we dispersed the two crowds. And
Rahul Ishwar disagrees. Rahul Ishwar, was it more important to go ahead with the celebrations even at the risk of there being a problem?
Gundarao-ji, with great respect to you, please don't trivialize the death of a person. Please don't trivialize the death of a person, whether he be Hindu, Muslim or Christian. A person has lost his life. We have to take it with that seriousness. We cannot let people die because they fight over history. There has been the whole idea of government celebrating a Tipu Jayanti has created restlessness. And can I simply ask you a question? Just one question. Can you point out any Hindu ruler in our history who has destroyed any mosque in our distant past? Tipu Sultan was not like that. We are totally for celebrating Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, who was a patriot. Abdul Kalam is the greatest icon of Indian unity. There has been many kings and many icons of our distant past who have celebrated diversity from both Hindu, Muslim and Christian. Tipu Sultan is only in shade of grey, and please don't whitewash by giving him a certificate of secularism. And a very respected person like Siddaramaiah is saying that Tipu Sultan was a true secularist. So what does that mean? What do the younger generation should understand? Forcible conversion and destruction of church and temple is true secularism. So please remember, we cherish our diversity. I belong to a Sabarimala temple where we have a mosque inside a temple. We celebrate diversity. We respect all the Hindu, Christian or Muslim elements. But Tipu Sultan has a very controversial past. Please, for God's sake and Indian diversity's sake, don't whitewash and give a certificate of secularism, because people will start doubting your version and brand of secularism.
All right.
Please,
Dinesh Gundu Rao, what Rahul Ishwar has essentially said is that there are those historical figures over whom there is no question whatsoever. You cannot question them. Every single record of history has only positive things to say about them. There are those figures, and then there are those that are contentious. So the question to you now is, so the question to you now is, why did the Karnataka government choose to start commemorating and celebrating a contentious figure? At the very least, you will admit contentious, because there is that contrarian point of view as well. At a time when you are witnessing farmer suicides, you've got a drought which is the worst in the last 40 years. Aren't there larger issues for your government to be focusing on than celebrating Tipu Sultan?
It is. For us, definitely. It is. Larger issues are there. For us, Tipu Sultan Day is a 1 day, 2 hour celebration. It's not that the whole government is sitting and doing nothing else. Unfortunately, it's the Hindutva, BJP elements which are doing this. And one example I'll give you. Mr. Deen Dayal Upadhyaya has written many such literature which is totally against Muslims. He said Hindu Muslims should not be together. People who follow who become Muslims are anti-India. And his birthday is being celebrated by the India government. So should we go and have buns in India because of that?
Okay,
should
let MR Venkatesh and Rahul Ishwar respond to that. Then we'll get in Mr. Rahmani, MR Venkatesh.
You are totally ill-informed.
Do not use it for political.
I thought you are ill-informed about Tipu Sultan. You are ill-informed about Deen Dayal Upadhyaya also. Deen Dayal Upadhyaya was not in the BJP at all.
And Deen Dayal Upadhyaya was a figure who was totally non-violent. Tipu Sultan was a violent tyrant. Tipu Sultan has many contentious and controversial views. How can you even equate a person like Tipu Sultan to a modern figure and a more non-violent figure?
And MR Venkatesh takes strong exception to what you're saying about Deen Dayal Upadhyaya. MR Venkatesh.
Please understand. I can understand you may not subscribing to the views of Deen Dayal Upadhyaya. Please, for heaven's sake, don't say Deen Dayal Upadhyaya was a tyrant, was actually a bigot or
I have no issue. It's up to you to celebrate. I have no issue on that. I'm not going to be calling a band because of that.
No, please understand. No. Please
I have no issue. You celebrate Upadhyaya. I have no issue. I'll protest. But it's not that I'm going to create violence or call for a band.
Okay, let's get in Mr. Rahmani also.
You provoke
Mr. Rahmani, do you agree with Dinesh Gundu Rao that he's a historical figure who deserves to be celebrated?
You are the people who are the greatest danger for the country. The country has no problem with Muslims, Hindus and Christians.
Was it dangerous and divisive to celebrate Tipu Sultan?
No, Guru Gowalkar.
Okay, I have one question.
Guru Gowalkar,
Mr. Rahmani,
tell me which.
And all these people are the tyrant. They were the informer. They were the informer of the British government. They helped the Britishers to
all
implement
this
their
bullshit
rule
don't
in the
give
country.
Mr. Rahmani.
That's why they
Mr.
came
Rahmani,
into
don't
force.
give this
How
bullshit.
can they-
Mr. Venkatesh,
Guru Golkar,
Mr.
Guru
Venkatesh, I will
Golkar,
please
the
caution
most
you to
important
mind the
person.
language that we use on the
You are
show.
quoting the
Mr.
most
Venkatesh, let's please be very clear about that. I'm sorry, we will not allow that kind of language on the show.
I'm sorry if people who are dead and people who are not alive are being made into informers of the British. Is totally wrong.
No, let's talk about historical facts. All right, gentlemen, let's talk about historical facts. Let's talk about historical facts. Mr. Dinesh Gundu Rao. Now, the fact is that, you are quoting the names of various figures whom you say have, there's a set of people who consider them great, there's a set of people who may not consider them great. But I ask you, gentlemen, 1 second. Yeah, M.R. Venkatesh, I'm making your point. So Dinesh Gundu Rao, for example, now I'm going to just quote from one of the historical pieces that we've been looking at today. 1 second. I'm just going to quote from one of them. Now this is a French adventurer's memoirs. The French adventurer who was certainly neither Congress nor BJP nor VHP or any of those things. A French adventurer who served at Tipu Sultan's court. And his memoirs talks about the fact most of the Hindu men and women were hanged, mothers were hanged, children were tied to their necks. The barbarian Tipu Sultan tied Christians and Hindus to the legs of elephants, and it goes on. Now, what I'm trying to say here, Mr. Dinesh Gundu Rao, is that there is
wrong history.
So you are just completely denouncing this particular bit of history, this particular.
Only the history written by Romila Thapar is right. What are you trying to say? This is not the BJP or
RSS. What Hindu Mahasabha has done. They have distorted all the facts.
This is not by RSS. Why do you make an ass of yourself prime time, yaar? You understand this is not by RSS or BJP. This is by some foreigner. Why don't you understand simple things? Why do you make an ass of yourself? This is
no, Mr. Rahmani, who decides which history is correct?
Foreigner, who decides? You are the foreigner. You are the friends of those foreigners. You are the friends of those foreigners who produce the history to divide.
Come on, Rahmani. Come on. Don't make me a foreigner in my own country. I am saying that you forget me. I am a scoundrel. Okay, delete me. But there are people who have come from outside and written history of India.
You are the people. You belong to the people who supported those kind of foreigners.
Don't say all these things. You
are the people who supported those kind of foreigners. You are the people who wanted the British rule to go ahead just to overrule.
Mr. Rahmani, you are the most patriotic people.
There are a lot of...
No, Dr. Rahmani, support which kind of foreigners? Dr. Rahmani, we're talking about a French foreigner in 1700 something who was serving in Tipu Sultan's court. What do you mean when you say you support these kind of foreigners? Which kind of foreigners? What is the point you're trying to make?
Please understand, there is a Muslim gentleman who has written something that is correct. There is exactly. No, that is why don't make it as RSS also. Don't make it so idiotic a statement that the Frenchman was an RSS man. Please understand, there is a Malabar diary written by a Britisher, and along with him a Muslim gentleman has written. Go and see it. It is available in the Cochin University. Please read those things. They have documented the tyrannical rule of... It says that the number of murders that Tipu has done, number of conversions it has done at sword.
Have you read?
Sir, today
let Mr. Rahmani respond.
We are not talking about Ashoka.
Dr. Rahmani.
We are not talking about Ashoka.
Let Dr. Rahmani respond. Dr. Rahmani.
Have you read the Ashoka?
We will talk about Ashoka later.
Ashoka is great. You say it is great. Do you know?
No, we will not go on to Ashoka the Great. Dr. Rahmani and Mr. Gundu Rao. My simple question to you is, Dr. Rahmani and Mr. Gundu Rao. Okay, can we please have a moment's silence, please? Just about 2 seconds so I can ask my question. Mr. Gundu Rao, my simple question is, we can go on and on this debate about conflicting histories. But when you have a conflicting history, is it not better for you as a government, as a responsible government, to stay away from a controversial, divisive figure?
Exactly.
Otherwise, you will be seen as trying to deliberately provoke. Simple question. Mr. Gundu Rao.
See, if you see now what we are trying to do over here is we are moving from an historical perspective to the present perspective.
Yes.
When Tipu was the king, he had his enemies as the Marathas from the Malabar belt. He had even opponents from Tamil Nadu, the kings over there in Andhra. So they were conquering rulers. So when they go and fight wars, things would have happened. no king would have been. Wasn't a democracy. They had to win by showing their might, and they had to conquer. So things would have happened. I'm not denying that. Ashoka went in when he conquered Orissa, and the Kalinga War is we all know about history. So many wars have been fought in India. But what we're trying to say is, he was a secular ruler. During his rule, almost 200 temples were getting grants. He contributed to the Kanchi temples 10,000 gold coins, to the Sringeri Mutt.
But no one is disputing that, Mr. Gundu Rao. You're trying to sidestep my question. Let me rephrase it for you. My simple one-sentence question to you is that when there is potential for controversy, isn't it then decided especially by a responsible government?
Those are the exigencies of the time. That's
exigency, and is this your political exigency right now?
Tipu is a great
we had great kings like Ashoka.
Tell me,
we had great kings like Akbar, who was more to the center and secular.
Fought against the British?
As a youngster, my humble request would be, we had many kings who were never extremists and hardliners. We had great kings like Ashoka. We had kings like Akbar, who were more to the secular aspect. We shouldn't celebrate people like Aurangzeb. We shouldn't celebrate people like Tipu Sultan. We can celebrate people like Akbar. We can celebrate people like Ashoka. We can celebrate people like Shivaji. So we should be very sensitive about history. And when you are celebrating, think about those generations of which have suffered. Even in Kerala, many temples have been ransacked.
No, but that's exactly the point, Mr. Dinesh Gundu Rao. That is the point. You're asking Rahul who should be celebrated and who should not be. Therefore, the same question applies to you.
Mr. Gundu Rao, tell me, who are you to celebrate?
The question is, and as Padmaja asked you very specifically, if there is a controversial figure, some contentious history, isn't it more prudent to then stay away from that rather than provoke?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Government
the Mysore people remember his rule so fondly. Even today, the Mysore people where he ruled, Srirangpatna, Mysore, Nanjangud, the whole entire Mysore belt today remembers his rule fondly. Nobody makes these kind of comments.
No.
Yes, when he was fighting people across the state, there would have been casualties, there would have been incidents which would have taken place because of political exigencies. But he
No, you're wrong, sir. Please understand, there are people, there are communities who do not celebrate Diwali on this day. They do not celebrate Diwali because their forefathers were killed by Tipu on this day. And on this day, you are trying to wound their feelings. You are trying to hurt the sentiments. On Diwali, especially, which is the most holy day for the Hindus,
you are not going to wound anyone.
Hell with you. We will celebrate.
This is, gentlemen, unfortunately, this is the exact reality. This is the reality. When you have a figure that is controversial, you end up with two extremely opposing opinions. Just as we are seeing in the debate here tonight, just as we see here in the debate tonight, we are seeing clashes and unrest in Karnataka. Therefore, once again, coming back to the bottom line, the moot point, did the Karnataka government really have to go ahead and do this at a time when they've got more pressing issues to consider and at a time when there have been protests against it? Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the debate number 2 this evening. We are completely out of time.